Hey guys, it's Gawain, and today we are going to be taking a look at the best hatch opener in the game, Hibana. Hibana is a 3-speed 1-armor attack operator that is incredibly versatile. Hibana has good guns, hard breach potential, soft destruction potential, and generally great fragging capabilities. Hibana is the most versatile hard breacher in the game. Let's learn how to capitalize on that. Hibana is equipped with her Nuclear Ninja Star launcher, which launches well, nuclear ninja stars, of which she gets 18 in total. This launcher can send these stars out in groups of 6, 4, or 2. When placed on a destructible surface, hard or soft, you can press the ability button you use to pull out the launcher again to begin detonation. This detonation is the star's time to go nuclear and melt through the surface it is deployed on, which lasts 5 seconds before exploding and leaving a hole. Zuma Kabuma can only deploy her X-Kairos pellets on flat surfaces, so you can't stick them onto people, deployable shields, or other defender gadgets. If you try, each pellet will do 1 damage to the player, but other than that, they will bounce off the surface and break. To me, Hibana is the hatch breaker hard breacher because she can break up to 4 hatches in 1 round, whereas Thermite can only do 2, Ace can only do 1, and Maverick can only do 2 or 3. A reinforced hatch only takes 4 pellets to destroy fully, so make sure you save your pellets by switching to the mode that fires them in a 2x2 square. A soft hatch, however, only needs 1 pellet, so make sure you swap to the mode that fires them out in a 2x1 rectangle. The only time I use the 2x3 rectangle firing formation is to open a crouchable hole in a wall, and the only time I do that is when we don't have another hard breacher for the main wall. Hibana's speciality is hatch opening, but you can also get creative with her selective firing modes. Use the 2x1 formation to open castle barricades and sightlines, the 2x2 formation for hatches and even smaller crouchable or vaultable holes, and the 2x3 to open sizable holes in the main wall. To make these crouchable or vaultable holes, however, you have to stack 2 sets of pellets on top of one another, and just make sure the gap between isn't too big, as otherwise you will leave a small sliver of metal in between them and ruin your plan entirely. To aim all of these pellets accurately, aim down sights with your launcher and get a big red grid wherever you aim to indicate where your pellets will land exactly. The only downside to this is that everybody, including enemies, can see it. Another thing I learned whilst writing this script for the video is that mirror windows only take 1 of your thermal ninja stars to destroy it. This means you can be more conservative, no, not like those fools, with your pellets when destroying mirror windows. Gone are the days of you using 6 pellets on a window just for it to be ejected, destroying all of them. Use the 2x1 pellet formation to destroy those pesky one-way mirrors effectively and efficiently. Overall, Hibana Unana is a hatch opener, but that doesn't mean she can't replace a Thermite or Ace if she absolutely has to. It's just better if she doesn't have to. This is because Hibana is very much a supplement to Ace or Thermite, just like a Maverick would be. Hibana's primary weapon options are the Type 89 assault rifle and the Supernova shotgun. Her secondary weapon options are the P229 handgun and the Bearing 9 machine pistol. I personally use the Type 89 paired with the Bearing 9 because they are a great combo for fighting close combat and long-ranged gunfights. The Type 89 is a fast-firing assault rifle with a pretty decent damage stat and access to the 1.5x, 2x and the 2.5x scopes for zoom optic. The 2x will be coming with Year 7 Season 3, so if you're watching this on date of release, it won't be out just yet. This gun can shred through people pretty quickly, but that also means it chews through its limited mag size at 20+1 bullets pretty fast as well. You can equip the ACOG for long-range gunfights, but I find that the horizontal recoil can be a little difficult to control from time to time, so I'd use a compensator if I were you. Even then, I'm not a massive fan of the ACOG just because it feels off to me, so using the 1.5x or the 2x scopes are also good shouts for zoom optics. All of these scopes combo well with the Bearing 9 because you can use your primary assault rifle as the long-ranged option and your secondary SMG for close quarters combat. The Bearing 9 has a fast fire rate and good damage too, the only catch being the high recoil it has. It becomes a lot more manageable with a flash hider and a vertical grip attached to it, but even then, it can be difficult to control. This should only be a reason to learn how to control the recoil though, because this gun can be amazing in close quarters combat. It also pairs well with the Supernova shotgun, should you choose to use it, which I recommend you don't by the way. This shotgun has a pretty slow pump cycle with an inaccurate spread and bad damage. It is by far one of the worst shotguns in the game, and it's just made worse on Hibana with the long sightlines you have to peek as an attacker. Do yourself a favour, don't use the Supernova. Finally, the P229 is an alternative pistol option to the Bearing 9 machine pistol. I much prefer the Bearing 9 as it is fully automatic, but if you really can't control the recoil, then this mid-tier pistol is also a suitable backup weapon, I suppose. As for secondary gadgets, Hibana gets arguably the two worst options in the game: 3 flashbangs or 3 breaching charges. I personally opt for the stun grenades because they allow me to blind and deafen enemies before swinging angles I suspect them of holding. They allow for pretty easy kills on targets that get properly stunned, and they generally allow me to clear a room or angle more confidently, because if I know someone is there, my flashbang will essentially prevent them from fighting back. Flashes also allow you to burn anti-projectile gadgets such as Jaeger ADSs, Aruni gates, and Wamai discs. Breaching charges can be useful for opening soft walls, hatches, or floors when playing Hibana, because they allow you to open up even more sightlines without having to use more of your primary gadget pellets. It's up to you which one you choose, because they are useful in their own ways, but they're no frag grenades, let me tell you that much. In the prep phase as Hibana, I'd save your drone, or at least set up a flank camp for the start of the round. This way you have 2 information tools to help you drone in yourself and your entry fraggers, especially after you open important hatches for a site execute. There really isn't much to do in the prep phase as Hibana, so let's move into the action phase. Your main job is to open hatches, so you should make a beeline for the important ones for the site you're going to take. If they are playing a top floor site without hatches, then try and open up holes in a main wall or just create sightlines for your team to play off. Drone yourself into the building so you don't get picked off before you can do your job, and try not to take gunfights unless the enemy is stunned or you have the element of surprise. After that, open the hatches or wall if necessary, and drone your entry fraggers into the site. This way you can call out the enemy's position and your team can act upon it. If you are left somewhat alone, drone yourself in, and if you see an enemy, flash and swing them for a free pick. You will probably have the diffuser as Hibana, so plant when possible and hold a tight angle watching the diffuser, or somewhere where defenders have to walk by to get into it. Feel free to use the remainder of your flashbangs to stall out the timer and try to only peek when you hear them diffusing. Hibana's pellets have 5 counters: Mute, Cade, Bandit, Explosives, and Bullets. Cade and Bandit can both destroy your gadget with their electricity on reinforced walls or hatches. Your gadget is so slow to detonate that both of them can trick your pellets as well. This means they deploy their gadget after you place yours on the wall or hatch to destroy the nuclear ninja stars. Cade is much more of a counter to you than Bandit is, as Cade can electrify hatches from below. It isn't your job to get rid of these pairs' gadgets, that role is given to someone else, so sit back and drone the gadget placement out if you need to, but other than that, it isn't your job to deal with. Mute is very similar to Cade and Bandit as he prevents your gadgets from working, but the difference is that his gadget works in a spherical radius. This means you can still make small holes in the top corners of the wall for a teammate's grenade to fly through and destroy the jammer, allowing you to detonate your once jammed pellets. As for explosives and bullets, just try and kill the enemy before they can shoot or explode your gadgets, because once your stars are on the wall, they are defenseless. Learn what hatches are best to destroy for each site and capitalize on the sightlines they create once opened. Learn to control the Bearing 9's recoil to make you a deadly force in close quarters combat. Use your Type 89 zoom scopes to hold long angles that the defenders will struggle to see with their low zoom scopes. Use your flashbangs to stun and swing enemies you have intel on for easy kills. Open hatches, walls and sightlines for your team, drone in your entry fraggers, and use your amazing weapons to your advantage to get most out of Hibana. Overall, Hibana is a pretty easy operator to play in my opinion. She has a straightforward gadget, great primary weapon, and a secondary gadget that helps her secure kills. Learn what pellet formations to use for what you want, learn to control the Bearing 9's recoil, learn to drone your entry fraggers in, and you are sure to become a pretty decent Hibana player. Thank you all for watching, I do hope you enjoyed. As always, all the clips you saw in this video were taken from my Twitch stream, link will be on screen and in the description. If you found this video helpful in any way, consider subscribing and sharing it with your friends as it does help grow the channel. My next video for the Siege series will be Jaeger, so I'll see you all then. Goodbye. On cams on 4.
Still on cams?
Yeah, still on cams, I'll call if not. Off now.
Yeah.
Let's go!